So, hello and welcome. My name is Zacharias von Überstein. Nah, I'm not Zacharias von Überstein. I'm Felix, of course. Yeah, we are very excited. So, yes, welcome to our almost bi-weekly stream. Yes, it will be available as VOD on YouTube and Twitch, of course, afterwards. So, yeah, I'm here with Konstantin. Sorry, forgot to
Hey guys.
present you. So yeah, we have this bi-weekly stream. What are we talking about in general? Just as a quick overview in the stream.
Hi, so I'm Konstantin. I'm sitting here with Felix, our game designer. This is our almost bi-weekly stream, as he already said. And in this stream, we talk about Avorion, Avorion dev, game dev in general, and well, all the things that we do as game designers and game development people.
Specialists.
So yeah, specialists, exactly. We're not people, we're specialists. So
Yes.
I'm sitting here with Felix. Felix is our game designer. So what is it that you do as a game designer?
Yes, in general, I do a lot of stuff that isn't programming. Basically, yeah, all the stuff that isn't programming, or mostly all the stuff that isn't programming, is part of my job here. For example, I'm writing dialogues, I'm doing missions, I'm playtesting, of course. Well, everybody's playtesting, but I am doing this a little bit more. I'm doing, yeah, around stuff. I just started with our trailer intro. I did the trailer, for example. So, yes, sometimes I even program. But yeah, mostly for balancing reasons or smaller things, because I'm not the programmer guy, but Konsti, you are our programmer, not chef, chef is a German boss.
Programmer boss. I'm the programmer boss.
The end boss of programming. No, yeah. And
you have to defeat me to finish Voxelware campaign, whatever.
Kind of. So,
all right.
Yeah, but what are you doing all the day beside programming?
So basically, my job is I'm game director here at Voxelware. My job is to keep the vision of the game and basically steer the game in the direction that we as a team want it to be at some point in the future. And basically, I collect feedback from the community. I have my own ideas that I want to implement. So we've got tons of stuff that we can do. I've got tons of stuff to do that, for example, I'm the one who for example decided or first came up with the Into the Rift DLC idea.
Yes.
I didn't decide it by myself. I decided I had the idea, and then we talked as a team.
We talk a lot about stuff like this.
Stuff like this, and yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's the stuff that I'm doing here. All right. So what did we talk about in our last stream? Let's do a quick recap.
Yes, as a quick recap, we did a lot of things. You showed us the new blocks with the new flashing lights and vivid colors, all this stuff. We talked about our new enemies we introduced into the game. A little bit about the new Rift special stone, the new stone ore from the Rifts.
Yes.
We showed you our exciting new main menu, which I like a lot.
I love it. I love it too.
And yeah, about the reroll of the turrets in the factory, to reroll the seats. Of course, we showed the trailer, which I'm still very proud of. And yeah,
it's an amazing trailer.
Thank you. And yeah, we announced the beta, the first beta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that should be all we talked about last stream. We also worked since last stream.
Yeah.
As a little overview, what did we do?
So we've been busy since our last stream. We've had 2 betas now. We've been fixing tons of bugs. We've been working on various balancing issues, for example. We've sifted through all the feedback that we got from everyone who participated in the beta. Thanks again for participating.
Yes.
This helps us out a lot. We will talk about this a little more later on. So we've looked at the numbers from the beta. We've looked at the feedback from the beta. We've implemented quite a few things from the that we got as feedback. I'm pretty happy with how much we were actually able to implement. And we also worked on the translation of the game. This is also a part that that's always underestimated by people, translating this game in 7 other languages.
Yeah, and how many strings we actually use in the game.
For those who don't know, strings are texts. So basically text segments, like a sentence or some words, for example. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, we did a lot.
Yeah, we've been busy. So
Yes.
I think we should get into what it we should get into the Rift. Yeah. We should get into more into what we've been working on specifically.
Yes.
So Felix.
Yeah, I'd like to start. We have
this is for courage again.
We have a mission we didn't present yet, and I want to talk a little bit about it.
Yes.
It's our exploration mission, and yeah, it's a special mission because we don't have an actual object in this mission.
Objective.
Oh, objective.
We don't have an objective in this mission.
Yes.
All right. So it's a special kind of mission.
It's a special kind of mission. It's a sandbox mission where you can just go into a rift and just live it, see it, feel it, do it.
You can feel the rift hating you, destroying your ship.
No. If you build your ship well enough, that's fine. But yeah, we wanted to do a dedicated sandbox mission that doesn't have this pressure that the other missions have. Like, you have to do something, you have to achieve something, but more of the slow kind. You can learn how to rift, actually. How do the different environment effects work on your special ship and all this stuff. So you can mine a little bit better. Because you don't have this objective behind you.
There's you don't have that pressure on you when you go in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's the most important stuff for now about the exploration mission. Because as I said, there is no special objective we have to talk about. But
So, but I'm really looking forward to this because I think it's a great way of getting to know the environment, getting to know the environmental effects at your own pace.
Yes.
Just basically learning about how rifts are structured and how they work.
Definitely.
More or less.
How to orientate.
How to orient yourselves. Yeah, exactly. That's actually an important bit, and we will get into orientation inside of rifts later on. Well, we got some feedback from the beta.
Exactly. You're talking about the beta. We have a lot of beta feedback.
Yes. So we got tons of feedback, which is awesome.
Yes.
Again, thanks for participating.
Thank you from me too.
Yeah, it's been a great help. So basically, what did we learn in the beta? So is there anything in particular that you learned from these 2 betas that we did?
Yes, I think I learned a lot, but I learned especially for myself that these betas are great. Just for the weekend, we can present to everybody what we want to do, what we did. We can get feedback. We can implement that feedback and do another beta, which was great. The second beta was also very good because we can test if we implemented everything as the feedback said, kind of. And for me personally, I really like the betas because it showed we are just about to finish. we see the finish line. It's good. We can present it. We got good feedback. So it calms down. I'm not that nervous anymore that I was before, because yeah, we did it good. We got the feedback that showed us we did it good.
Yeah.
And that was something that helped me personally a lot.
Okay.
And yeah, got the question for you. How was it for you?
So what did I learn? So basically, it was amazing to see people play those rifts for the first time, and I think one of the most important thing we got is our feedback from you guys about clarity in the rifts, about visibility of objects, for example. So rifts are supposed to be somewhat dark. It's what makes the whole atmosphere.
Yes,
but they also
want
have
people
to be
to search stuff, not to have everything
we also
presented.
we want rifts to be kind of a dangerous environment and a dark environment, and you're supposed to look for things a little bit. So but at the same time you have to be able to find those things. So
yes, of course.
So it's we have to navigate a path where we make things not too easy to find, but also not too hard. So I think that's some of the most important stuff that I took from all this. Yeah. So what kind of feedback did we get? Is there anything that surprised you?
Not surprised per se. More interested, or it was more interesting, because we got.
Or was there anything that made you excited or happy or sad or?
Well, nothing made me sad about the beta.
Okay, good.
I'm very happy.
That's a good sign, I guess.
Nobody made us actually sad. I was very happy that on the second beta, when we introduced the survey, we actually got more than 50% of the feedback with 4 stars or more, so 4 or 5 stars, which was great. It felt great to see that what we did actually came through, and the people liked it. That was great. Actually, I just felt great about this.
So basically, for me, the thing that surprised me the most is that we kind of nailed the win rates that we had foreseen or the success rates that we had foreseen for rifts. So we were aiming at about, I think, 60 to 70% win rate, or 50 to 70%, something along that range. That was our ideal win rate, and we actually had a win rate of 55%. So a success rate of 55%. Keep in mind that this is people trying the rifts for the first time a lot.
Yes.
So we had a lot of beta testers, but we didn't get around. People didn't get around over the short time to actually play that many rift missions. So so we had a lot of people who played them for the first time, and considering that, I think 55% was actually a pretty good rate.
Yes.
For what we had planned. People didn't know what they were getting into. There was no time to actually learn about rifts that well as people can for the base game, for example, because of the betas being just over a short period of time.
And of course, it's still beta. Not everything is perfect right now.
Yes,
we have to balance stuff. So yeah, I'm totally with you. The numbers are great. And yeah, maybe a little bit more about what direct feedback we got. You already mentioned the clarity and the visibility.
Yes. So from what we've gathered is that people were having a little trouble navigating around rifts. So those were actually two things. For once, people had a little trouble finding out what exactly they have to do on the mission.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of the bigger issues. So, for example, in the rescue mission, you have to first find the shelter of those people that you have to rescue, and then you have to find rescue capsules or emergency capsules that you can then escape pods. That's the word. Yeah, you have to find escape pods that you have to then bring to the shelter. You have to dock them, bring them there. They will dock at the shelter. Then people will get on them, and then you have to get them out of the rift. And that apparently wasn't clear enough.
Yep.
For example, where are those wreckages that I have to look for? What do you actually have to do? For example, during that mission. So we worked a little on the clarification of the mission descriptions, like the little text you see on the top right of your screen.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yeah, and another thing with the clarity and visibility, some people got lost in the rifts, and
yes, yeah,
we worked on this. We already had, I think, 2 streams before. We presented them the marker buoys. I'm not sure how to.
The marker buoys. I think you say that's how you pronounce it.
Hopefully.
You can tell us if we were wrong. I'm having a little. A bit of a hard time actually reading chat. Maybe we can zoom in a little on chat, but yeah, you can tell us if
if we're butchering it
if we're butchering your language.
But yeah,
buoy. All right, buoy. It's pronounced buoy. All right, okay. Thank you, thank you, Heim Arnalder. Yeah, so I just butchered your Heim
It's okay.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
I'm sorry.
We have the marker buoys. We found out that people aren't using them, obviously.
Yes. So, or are not enough people are using them. So yeah.
So yeah, we just put them onto the Rift Research Center, so people find them and can use them and know they are there. Difficult to
know that they're there.
Yeah,
exactly. So we've added this little section in the Rift Research Center where you can explicitly buy those buoys that you can then use to navigate inside of rifts. You can just deploy them and find back to them.
Exactly.
Yeah, they will just add a little thing. You can check out our stream from I think 4 weeks ago. Yeah. So 2 streams ago.
The day before last stream. The stream before last stream, of course.
Yeah, the stream before last stream. So you can check that out if you're interested.
Exactly.
And something else that we looked at was some of the mass constraints. So so the scientists in our DLC, they can only transport a certain mass into the rift because of subspace entanglements and interesting physics. They can only transport a certain amount of mass into the rift, and we help them upgrade their teleporter a little. So from now on, you can increase the mass of the rift teleport.
Yes,
but that will also that won't go unnoticed. So the Xotan will then they will be stronger. They will be a little stronger, and they will also be waiting for you.
Yes, they are alarmed.
They will be alarmed.
The swarm will come faster.
Yes, they will find you a little faster. Not that much, but it's noticeable, and yeah. So, but this was actually a feature that we saw. I think 1/5 of the players of the second beta using.
Yeah.
So about 20%. So a significant amount of people used this feature. So I think it was a good addition.
And that's exactly what I meant before. We got the feedback. We implemented a solution.
Yes.
People are using it, and that feels really great.
Yeah, it feels awesome. It feels awesome. Seriously.
We had a similar thing with the Xotan enemies. We had some feedback that they were too hard and we also worked on this a little bit. I don't want to spoil it too much, but the starting rifts are easier now.
Yeah, the beginner rifts. So we've been looking at the numbers basically for our win rates, and usually what we expected was a kind of a larger win rate or a bigger win rate for the lower rift depths. So for example, at rift depth 1, like the lowest rift depth, rifts should still be challenging, but they should be doable. So so we adjusted some of the enemy strengths, for example.
Yep.
We adjusted them for some of the lower rift depths that enemies aren't as hard, but they will get back to their normal strength, for example, about normal strength at about rift depth 10, 20, about around that.
Yep.
So yeah.
Exactly. And one thing that surprised me a little bit, actually I had something that surprised me.
Yeah.
The Master Summoner at the end of the Extract Xotan Core mission.
Yes.
Was harder than the Masticator, actually.
Yes.
We had a win rate of around 80% for the Masticator.
Yes.
And a win rate of about
20%.
20 to 40%. It was better in the first beta, actually.
Yes.
For the Master Summoner, and that surprised me.
That's something we're gonna have to adjust. Yeah. So I actually just came from balancing that particular enemy a little more, and yeah, but that's kind of interesting. So that's also something that I didn't expect. I expected the Master Summoner to be the easier boss because I had less trouble with it.
Me too, yeah.
But apparently it's the other way around. But hey, that's something that we learned during beta. So
that's why we do betas. That's why we do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Get these anonymized betas.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about what kind of stats we usually look at when we do something like this beta.
Yeah. So you already mentioned we look at the win rates, of course, or the general win rates. We look for win rates in different missions. So yeah, for example, if we have like a 50-50 win rate overall, but one mission is done all the time and one never, that's obviously not what we want. So we want to be this on the same level, more or less. We look how mostly the win rates for now, how they are different in different drift depth, on different distances to the middle of the galaxy. We expect, of course, that when you're further out in the galaxy, it should be the win rate should be higher. We want a higher win rate on the lower rift depth because.
Well, I think rift depth win rates should actually be kind of the same, but they should be for center of the galaxy towards the edge of the galaxy. But I think they should be the same around. They should be better for lower rift depths. I think it shouldn't make that much of a difference when you're out at the edge of the galaxy or inside.
Yes, it depends a little bit, because on the outside, of course, we want people to be able to do it with more or less local ships, but people are also flying out with their, for example, Avorion ships, and that will make it easier. Yeah. So overall, it should be the win rate should be higher.
Exactly. When you take you have to take into account people building their huge endgame ships, flying back, maybe scaling them down, but you have ships that are built from Avorion going into the rift in iron regions, for example. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point.
Yeah, as I said, we have these anonymized data from the beta. We had around 180, 190 different datas. That the problem with this data in general is that the sample size wasn't like 10,000 or yeah, wasn't a big sample size.
Yeah, it's not that it's not super representative, sadly, because they were small and short betas. It was basically just our Discord community.
Yep.
And
for example, if 3 people are playing a mission and 2 didn't make it and 1 did it, we have like a win rate of 33%, which isn't what you want, but which isn't representative.
It's not representative. No, those are too small numbers to be completely representative.
Yeah, but
however, what I liked about the data that we did see is that people had a pretty good win rate over all difficulties. We had a win rate of, I think, 40% on insane.
Yes.
About 40% on hardcore, and then a little higher on the lower ones.
5 on veteran.
Yeah, and I think we had one person who started a Rift on beginner, and they failed, and it was really sad to see.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry if you're here and you're watching this. I wish you best of luck next time. You can do it.
But this is one example. If we have like 1 or 2 missions there and it's 100% fail, doesn't mean that beginner is too hard.
2 people who tried it, those could be 2 people who just booted up the game and wanted to have some fun. Yeah, but yeah.
After all, we had these 180 something numbers, and they actually reflected what we got on the feedback. So the general direction is good.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
So we can get some data, but it isn't perfect. That's all I wanted to say. That's especially important for me, because if I want to balance something, I have to account for the sample size simply.
Yes, exactly. We also have to take some more time. We have to take into account people learning how rifts work.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting too. Basically, just waiting to see how well people are doing over time, because people will learn how rifts work. People will learn how to adjust their ships and so on.
I have no doubt that there will be perfect ships for everything.
Yes, and I hope that there will be. I mean, this is kind of what we were aiming for. People building special ships for rifts. Yeah, this would be amazing. I'm really looking forward to see all those cool workshop builds and trying them out for myself. Yeah,
I think the first people already started it, like building them. They're not on the workshop yet, but
yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Seriously. So
yeah, I think we can walk on a little bit from the beta feedback.
You want to move on? All right.
Move on a little bit. Yeah, we also did reworks.
So differences between the first beta and the second beta. So we used the first beta for a first impression of how stuff was going, and so in the second beta there was tons of stuff that we could already change that we saw didn't work as envisioned. For example. So
for me personally, I was really excited for the first beta, because it was the first time for the players to see what we did, to give us feedback. And we got a lot of feedback. It was more general feedback, and that was very interesting, because we had in the first beta we had more this general approach where people said, especially for the mass, the mass isn't enough, and this stuff. And in the second beta, when we accounted for the feedback and worked with it, we got more narrowed down feedback.
We got more specialized feedback.
Exactly.
That was really helpful. And I think also the Rift mission surveys that we added, we will get into that later. The Rift mission surveys that we added, they also helped us gather more specific feedback. But like I said, we will get into this a little later. I think one of the most important things that we changed was that we changed the way that the iron storm environmental effect, basically how it works. So the first approach was we want something to make people focus more on armor and less shields. So what we did was we added an effect that basically just disabled shields. However, that was kind of in bad design because it immediately takes half of your HP. So this has been a little harsh. We saw that win rates, especially for this one effect, were extremely low, and we reworked it a little, and now it works differently. It basically discharges the shields over time, and depending on
the intensity.
Depending on the intensity of the effect, shields will now go down to 60%, 30%, and 5%. They won't discharge completely because we also saw that there was a very, very mean synergy with the radiation effect, which at first we thought was like a cool synergy. However, it was just too harsh. We saw that things were just not going as well as we had planned for this specific synergy, so we had to basically just dial it back a little. And the way that it is now, it is manageable. For example, you can now still use repair platforms, which also, based on feedback, we changed to also repair shields. So what a repair platform does now is it repairs your health. Once you're at full health, it will restore all blocks. And once all blocks were restored, it will start charging shields.
Which is
a lifesaver on harder difficulties, believe me,
I had it myself, like just dashing for this platform and
just boosting towards it.
It and heal up and fight again and hope that I'm fast enough. That the heal platform is actually helping me and not getting destroyed by the Exotan. So
the nano repair platforms. Those are the ones we're talking about.
Exactly.
So basically what it does now, this Iron Storm effect aligns more with our vision of the environmental effects. All of these environmental effects should be made in a way that they're predictable and how do you say? Basically, what we wanted is they should be clear on what they're doing, and they should be you should be able to, for example, dodge some things if you have the ship steering skills. You should be able to dodge, for example, the lightning. And in the very first, very early design of the lightning field, it was basically just striking you with lightning all over the time. And now what it does is it basically shows a little lightning that it shows you where it's going to strike, and then you have time to escape that. So it was important for us that for every effect or every danger or something, there is kind of a countermeasure that counters it. This was very important. So please believe us that if you encounter something in the rifts that seems impossible, that there is a countermeasure against it.
Yes.
You just have to find it and maybe experiment a little to find it. And also, I'm seeing that Ben from Pixel Maniacs just joined us. Hey,
hi.
Hey, Ben.
Okay. So you already hard to speak for me right now. You already talked about the feedback we got there. We also had these surveys. I want to go a little bit more into those surveys.
Let's get into surveys a little more. So the surveys that we got from players.
From the second beta, actually.
So we have a little excerpt here from some of the surveys that we got. Yes. So basically, you're seeing what kind of rift depth was played, how much kilotons, the mass modifier, and what kind of threat level people were playing,
and how many stars.
And how many stars they rated it with. Yeah.
Exactly. And yes, that's very interesting because they were in this order. Exactly. I just.
So yeah, you took these four.
I just
yeah.
took this screenshot because we have a very good range of what kind of feedback we get,
Yeah.
and especially the second and the third one are very good feedback. And the third one, somebody had problems with the shielded Xotan. Because it seemed invincible even after destroying the 3 drones that protect him. That is feedback we see, and we can just test it. Was it a bug, or was something not clear enough?
Yeah, so it was kind of twofold feedback. So on one side we could see that these enemies seem we can see what their impression is for players.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, it's kind of a bug report. So yeah.
Exactly. And yeah, that's great. Also, the second one, at first, thank you that you like the visuals and the sector design. But yeah, that was something we talked about before. The escape pods were invisible. The person couldn't find them. Yeah, that's something we worked on.
This is something exactly what we worked on.
Exactly, yeah. We had this, and we improved the visibility. It now blinks like the batteries.
Flashes. That's the word.
Flashing, yeah.
It flashes.
In German, you say blinking, so it's kind of a false friend there.
That's what you call false friends, yeah.
So yeah, it flashes now, and just like the batteries, so it's easier to find. Perfect feedback. The other one, Xotan firepower, is a bit too much. Okay, we know
we now know. Yeah.
And
that's
also a thing.
That is really important. That is really important feedback.
We just worked on it.
We can. This is something. Basically, what we can do here is we get clear feedback and we can work on this. So this is feedback. If you want to help us out, this kind of feedback helps us out immensely because it tells us what you liked, what you found confusing, what you disliked. And basically just your impression of the entire thing.
Yeah. And yeah, on the first one, that's a little bit difficult because it's just a question. Why was it necessary to unlock the survivor pod again? Okay, so we know there is a problem with the survivor pod or the escape pods, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But what was the problem exactly? Why was it a problem to unlock them?
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult for us to narrow it down and to work on it. It's just like with the bug reports. If that was a bug report, we're like, okay, so we have to put a lot of time in it to reproduce it, to see when does it happen, and that's just time we don't have. We work on a lot of stuff, and we want to focus on the stuff that we can do and not on reproducing bugs that might occur or might not occur.
Yeah. So basically, this is not very helpful in total. So why was it necessary to unlock the survivor pods again? Stuff like that. Basically the thing that we can pull out there is there has been confusion about docking and undocking, but that's about it. So we basically know now that something has been confusing, but we don't know what has been confusing exactly. And
how was it confusing?
And how was it confusing? Is there any? We don't know what we can do better.
Exactly.
And
the fourth one is
and the fourth one. So this is also kind of some feedback that we sometimes get. We put it here to just show you guys that sometimes we get some weird feedback. Chat, if you know what this feedback means, please tell us. But yeah, this is sadly not something that we can work with. Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, overall, it was just a short.
So this has been a short excerpt of the survey feedback that we got.
We got a lot of other stuff, very helpful stuff. I think most of it we mentioned already.
Yes. Thanks again for everyone who took the time. We read everything and we took it to heart. Yeah, if we understood it.
And yeah, most of it was just good feedback. I really like this.
Yes. This was awesome, and we will be doing this again in betas in the future. Yeah,
definitely. Yes. The person actually.
Very nice. Well, you can just type it in chat, and then we're gonna analyze it later on. Yeah.
Exactly.
Thanks.
So we already talked a little bit about the mass constraint, or you talked about it, that we
Yes.
have this new slider, and I think we can say why we introduced the slider and why we have this mass constraint.
So basically, this mass constraint, the reason was very simple. It's for balancing. So when we want to make rifts a challenge, which was the goal, so that was the vision. We want the rift missions to be a challenge, to be hard, to be endgame content. But it's a little hard to do that when people can just build huge, humongously big ships that are just HP sponges and that can just soak up everything in terms of damage. So that makes it kind of impossible to balance. In a game like Avorion, where people can build their ships as big as they want, we have two choices for balancing stuff. We could be setting boundaries for ships, or we could scale enemies. And if we have, so we basically we set a boundary for how strong a ship can be in a way. Let's say, for example, you could do slot size, or ship size, or ship volume, or mass, like we did. So we played around with all these ideas, and we decided that mass was the best choice, because it was for with mass you have the most. Basically, you have the most freedom of just building your ship around those boundaries.
Yeah. We at first we wanted to do with the slots.
Yeah, but that was a bad idea.
That
so
wasn't good, because with the mass you can just optimize
with mass you can
do what you want. And if you find a way to do like more slots, because you sacrifice maybe not so much armor, but more blocks that give you computation.
Yeah,
you get more slots, but you have to sacrifice the armor, or you say I'm going full armor and sacrificing some slots. So yeah, we want you to be able to do what you want, to adapt what awaits you inside the rifts.
Yes. So basically, the other choice was to make enemies to scale enemies up to the player's ship size. But when you do that, all the progress that you made as a player becomes meaningless, because your enemies will always be able to keep up.
Yep.
Just any progress that you make is meaningless, because if you build a big ship, your enemies are getting bigger. If you build a strong ship, your enemies are getting stronger. I don't think that that's a very good way to balance stuff. So basically that's why we decided for approach A, just setting some boundaries, and yeah. That's about it. So, and we're getting some reactions from chat here about humongous ships. You will be able to get your superstar destroyer into a rift. Stay tuned for that.
There might come something.
So no, there might not come something. There will come something.
Okay,
You will be able to get your humongous star destroyer into the rift as well too.
Okay, but maybe because we had it before, exit roll again about the report with the question. He wrote, after you dock the escape pod and bring it back to the shelter for them to climb back in, it teleports your pod back to their dock. I did not notice it and took off with the
without the poor guys. Oh, you left them in the rift?
Bad.
Well, you can save them later on again. I'm sure it's the same people. You didn't just leave them there.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, okay. That's something I have to take a look in again. I think it's so the man pods will dock from the makeshift emergency camp.
Yes.
It's called, and they will fly away. As we said before, we improved the visibility of them, and I think we also improved the communication that they are floating around and you have to
Yes. Yeah. We
dock
worked
them
on
and
that.
bring them out.
We worked on that. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So basically, but that's to wrap it up. This is why we did this this mass constraint, because otherwise we can't balance rifts around to be a challenge.
Yep.
And so basically, for normal rift missions, you will be able to get I think almost 4,000 kilotons, so almost 4 million tons.
Yeah.
Into rifts, at if you put all the sliders on 11, basically. So this is you will be able to get humongous ships into rifts. So that's not an issue.
Yep.
You might not get your planet-sized ships into rifts, but even for the planet-sized ships, we've got a little surprise for you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. So.
Yeah.
What else did we work on? I think we worked a little on quality of life stuff.
Not just a little.
We worked
actually.
a lot
Okay.
on quality of life stuff.
Yes. I think we mentioned it a lot of time already. We worked on the visibility. Just to wrap it up again, this is of course also quality of life stuff. For example, with the blinking. No, not blinking.
Flashing.
I wrote blinking light. The flashing lights for the escape pods.
Yes.
And other stuff where we improve the visibility. I don't want to get into everything there, but it is better now.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah.
And yeah, we also have something that is. Yeah, I'm missing the words.
So we've been working on tons of bug fixes.
Yep.
We've been working on a feature that restores turrets.
Exactly.
That restores turrets on repair. So this is actually kind of an oversight that it's a little well. It's a little what's the word?
Confusing that we missed it.
Yeah, it's surprising actually that we never addressed that before, but I guess we always. Like the way I played the game is I always go all in and then I get destroyed and then I come back
or not destroyed of course.
And yeah, either no me it's either I win 100% or I get obliterated 100%. So we've got a feature where basically turrets will be restored on repair. So
yes.
This has been overdue, seriously. And it's gonna come with the free update.
Yeah, we as you all know, the turrets are replaced if you lost your ship and just tow it.
Yeah, when you tow it, turrets are restored, but when you repair, they aren't. And this is a little weird, and it's been overdue that this is implemented. Yeah,
exactly. But you mentioned it before. We worked on a lot of bugs.
We've worked on a lot of bugs. Yeah, we'll give you a quick overview of all the bug fixes that that we did just over the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So there's a little this is a little excerpt from our issue tracking stuff software, and this is only the bug reports that we've been getting before the betas. So we've also been working on tons of stuff in the beta, and so we've been busy with tons of bug fixes. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to show you how it looks for us.
Yeah, this is what we see every day, basically. So yeah.
So I think that this were 35 bugs in addition to the other.
At least 35 bugs, just in addition
to everything else we did. Old bugs mostly.
And this has been only over the past 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're very proud of this. Yeah, but we made more quality of life, not just the bugs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe you can tell us some stuff about some of the features. We had some nifty players who already found found some of these quality of life features, but
and found a problem with it, which we already fixed.
Yeah, which we already fixed. That's
so
correct.
it is now possible to mark multiple items or subsystems or turrets at once as trash. So if you have your inventory, there is now a button where you can mark like everybody below rare, for example, to be trash. That helps a lot when
everybody you're trash. No, I'm just kidding.
So this helps a lot when you're selling them, because you have a button that just says sell trash, which is great. But if you have to like press everything on the on themselves for like this is trash,
yeah, exactly,
it takes the same amount of time. So it is now possible to mark everything below a certain rarity as trash. And new feature, it is now, it doesn't override favorite items anymore.
So yeah, we kind of had this little accident where where we forgot to make an exception for favorites, but that also works now too.
So if you're for favoriting something because you, I don't know, want to use it for research or anything else, it keeps in your inventory. It isn't marked as trash.
Yeah.
So everything is fine there from now on.
Yes, exactly. And I think that also leads us to our first showcase of the stream.
Yes.
So we want to show you
the third showcase, but the first in-game showcase.
Yeah, the first in-game showcase. All right, so let's go. Yeah. So we've got another feature presented for you. Just get ready. I'm getting ready here too. So
space.
We've got this. So basically, what we've got is a awesome ship here. But apart from this awesome ship, we also have a full inventory. So lots of you might be familiar with this. And just to show it really quick, you can now select a rarity here. I'm selecting common, and now I'm marking everything as trash. Here we go. All this is trash. This is all trash. Oh, by the way, you can also mark it with T. You can just hover over this thing and press T, for example. It says down here, or press F for favoriting it. If you don't know this yet, maybe you might find it interesting. This already works on the default build. It's live right now on Steam. So yeah, for a quick showcase here.
There's not only things to sell, and that's what we want to showcase.
Yes,
so you can also use them to get new stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So for once, if you don't know this yet, you can now sell all trash here. You could do this. I'm not going to do this because I need my trash now. But you can now go research, and there's now a nice little button that will auto research all trash items for you, like this. So gonna like research all the trash that I have. It's just throwing it in as much as it can.
Yeah, and interesting.
And yeah,
the new stuff.
And we're good.
The new stuff isn't marked as trash.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry that you lose something.
You won't lose anything, because this all the new stuff will be marked as non-trash.
Yeah, as general item.
If you want to trash it again, you can just go and let's go again. Yeah, there we go. All right, and it stops once it can't
research anymore.
Research anymore, exactly. And yeah, so we can just do this a little more. Yeah, I want everything. Everything. Just put it in the grinder here. Just go. Yeah.
So yeah, this also helps just to, yeah, as you can see.
And as you can see, it didn't trash the favorited items.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't mark them as trash. But yeah, marking them as trash now.
I saw one comment before, no more carpal tunnel.
Yeah, no more carpal tunnel because of inventory management. Yeah. Those days are over. All right. So that's the first thing.
That's the first thing.
I hope. So we really hope you like it.
Yeah. I personally like it a lot.
I like it a lot too.
But
And yeah,
wait, there is more.
so we've got another improvement, and basically it's about the turret factory. So building turrets has always been a little wonky sometimes, and there's a very easy explanation for that. We used so what we did for turrets was when this was first implemented, this was very old code. I will give you now an example of how old code is bad code here. We didn't have a lot of time, and we had to do a quick implementation of the turret factory. So what we did for turrets was we basically generated every blueprint, as you can see it here. Every blueprint here had an imaginary better blueprint in a better rarity, and then when you press the button here, it would just interpolate between the DPS. However, with slots stuff and basically random bonuses, like for example this. So sometimes
anti-meta, for example,
they get turrets get random bonuses like plus 24 damage. When the better turret had one of these bonuses, the damage that you got here was a little wonky. So so this wasn't always very well. You couldn't always follow it very well. So we've done we've looked at this stuff again. I don't want to say we did a rework because that's not true, but we rebalanced. We revisited it. Yes, that's the right word. So we revisited the turret factory, and we've been working on some amazing stuff here. So from now on, when you try to build a turret, for example, let's use a laser here. The DPS calculation and for example, this is going to be a lot more predictable and a lot more nachvollziehbar. I'm looking for a word here, but so basically it's easier understandable. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just works like just like before, but stuff will now be more predictable, less wonky. Yeah, it's going to work better, especially for ranges, because turrets didn't have that much difference to them. Well, how do I say this? Turrets of different rarities didn't have that much difference in range, for example. So sometimes range would upgrade a lot, sometimes it wouldn't at all. This was all very strange, so, and not very easily understandable.
Yes, and one thing, because I saw it before, maybe you can mention this too. You have to here. We have the burst DPS.
Exactly, that's a very good point. So we've added a little display of burst DPS here. Overheating turrets, they will shoot for a time, and then they will have to cool down for a time. And the DPS that we have here is actually the long-term DPS of a turret. So, for example, if you take a turret and you shoot with it for 10 minutes, this is the DPS that you get over a long period of time. Yep. However, that's not always the most representative DPS that you want, especially for bolters. When you take bolters, we
don't have bolters.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. So when you take bolters, for example, burst DPS might be more what you're looking for, because sometimes bolters will just cool down while you're looking for a new target. So for example, you shoot something down, and then you have a period of 5 seconds where you have to align your cannons for a new target, and that's the time where it will cool down. And then you can shoot again, and it's as if you didn't have any cooling times. So the damage that is more representative in this case is the burst DPS, and this is basically just damage times fire rate.
Exactly. So basically, the DPS is is the general with cooling. So it takes into account that no damage is done while cooling down.
Exactly.
And the burst DPS is just while you're shooting.
Yes, exactly. So burst DPS is while you're shooting, and DPS is over long term and takes into account cooling. And something that's interesting is for overheating turrets, when you increase the fire rate, the DPS doesn't increase. And this is something that has been confusing players for a long time. And it's basically because over a long term, your DPS won't get better, because the faster they shoot, the faster they overheat. So this doesn't change your DPS. It does change the long-term DPS, exactly. But it does change the burst DPS. Yeah. So I hope this clarifies things. And yeah, you will now see this burst DPS marker here whenever it's available. For example, when I think when I reduce fire rate enough so that, yeah, exactly. When I reduce fire rate enough so that this won't overheat anymore, because it just fires slow enough that it won't overheat at all, this burst DPS disappears because it's the same as the normal DPS. Yeah. So now we have a turret that won't overheat any longer. And it's also represented here in the tooltip, that it won't overheat any longer. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's about this.
That's about this.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So what else?
Said, a lot of quality of life.
Yeah, I think we're through.
I think we are through with
yeah, we're through with our most important stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, going to the finish, or the finish for what we did. I think we have a little announcement. Do you want to do it, or should I do it?
I think it's your time to do the announcement.
It's my turn?
Yeah.
Great. So I'm very proud to announce that we're doing a third beta this weekend.
Yes.
I'm very happy for it. And
we're looking forward to this.
We're looking forward to this. It will be the same steps to join it, so should be the same password, I think. And
yeah, and if it isn't, we will let you know. We will let you know how to participate once the beta launches. But exactly. Keep your weekend free. There will be another beta, and you will get all the nice quality of life stuff.
Exactly.
And everything that we've been talking about
today. Give us your feedback. It helps a lot. It's great to get the feedback, because we don't know what you think. We need your feedback to know and to do stuff.
Please tell us explicitly what you think. This helps us a lot. Also, please tell us if you liked something, because this is valuable feedback as well.
Yeah.
Usually feedback is mostly about stuff that you think should be different, but it also helps us if you tell us what you liked, because it gives us a good impression of stuff that, for example, if imagine that we get feedback by 10 people, and 3 people say, I didn't like this feature, and 7 people will tell us, wait, we did like this feature, but they don't actually tell us because they don't see a reason to tell us. We will only get the feedback of the people who told us they don't like it. So it's important to tell us what you did like, so that we can put everything into perspective.
Exactly.
That's very important, yeah.
And what is also very important for us is if you wishlist the DLC. It helps us a lot. Do the wishlist. It helps us on Steam. It helps everybody to make it more visible, so people see that we have the DLC. People get to know the rifts.
Yes.
And yeah, use the weekend, wishlist us, and play the beta, and give us feedback.
That would be amazing. Yeah, please.
3 easy steps.
Can we
help us a lot?
Maybe post the store page of our DLC into chat, so that everybody in chat can just wishlist it very quickly. This would be amazing, guys.
Our stream magician.
Stream magician here, sitting here with us. Yeah.
Exactly. So
we always have to address people behind the camera as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And
all right.
That's always yeah, the usual stuff.
Where can you tell us the stuff that you liked? Basically, wherever you feel like it. So go on Discord. Tell us about. You can go into. I think general discussion would be fine.
Yep.
As long as you don't overwhelm everything with only feedback. But I think if you just do normal stuff there without spamming, you should be perfectly fine.
Yep.
Apart from that, we have little surveys at the end of Rift missions. So go play the beta, play a Rift mission, and then there's going to be a little survey popping up that you can fill in how well you liked it.
It's just 2
how
clicks
hard
and a little
you
text.
thought it was, and yeah.
And a little text if you want to say something.
And some in the text field, exactly. Yeah, text box.
And the more you write there, the more we can do on Monday. So no, yeah, we like to read a lot.
Yes,
there,
it also pops up if you fail a mission.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's now time to answer some questions and
butcher some nicknames. Yeah. I already started with the butchering of nicknames. All right, fine. I think we're ready for the Q&A here.
Yeah.
So
I think one question that I can answer is, when will turret groups, crew fighters, subsystems, and torpedoes be added to safe designs? Well, to make it short, never, because they are, as stated, they're safe designs. They are designed for a ship.
So yeah, ship designs are designs.
Yes.
So yeah, those are visual.
Exactly. And the turrets, depend on if you have the turrets in your inventory right now. Turret groups, same thing. You want different turrets, what to do with the turret groups? We don't know. You know it, but the game doesn't know, and we don't know it, and everybody does his or her specific own thing.
Yeah.
Same, fighters, crew. You have to buy the crew, you have to hire them. The fighters need to be produced. That's all stuff that can't be just there from the beginning.
Yeah.
Subsystems, they are loot. You have to fight enemies, you get the subsystems, you can buy them, you can research them, but that's a whole lot of gameplay that is around it, and not just like copy a ship that will take most of the gameplay out of the game. So we can't do this. What we did, as we mentioned before, once you repair your ship, the stuff you had in your inventory, you already had on the ship, will be get there on again, because we know what people wanted, because they just built it. So that is possible, but in general, the ship designs are just the visuals. You have to pay for the resources or the materials and the money, and all the other stuff will be, you need to do them on your own, because you want to do your ship and not what we think you might want.
Yes, exactly. So this is a very hard thing to do, a very hard thing to achieve. I don't have anything to add. So is there any further plans on updating the AI to be more active with wars and such, or to add depth to their autonomy? So we've been thinking about this a lot, and the short answer is probably no, because that would add a kind of depth to the game that we probably can't do in a way that we would like it to do. We wouldn't be able to achieve the quality that we wouldn't be able to fulfill our own aspirations. So in short, there's probably not going to be an AI that will wage wars and expand and all that stuff. We also have to think about multiplayer servers, where people might join at some point, and then their faction has just been taken over by someone else and stuff. And this is not the kind of vision that we have for the game.
Yeah. Another funny question from my boy Twitch. How about the Schwäbisch language? For everybody who isn't German, Schwäbisch is a local dialect like Bavarian.
Yeah.
And also in the south, but in the southeast. And sadly, there won't be a Schwäbisch language option.
However,
we could do a Bavarian or Franconian. No,
let's not. However, you can mod it if you want to.
Yes,
you can mod. Yes. You can mod new languages in there.
This is
so if you if you have the strength to actually write that much Schwäbisch, then go ahead. You can actually mod Schwäbisch into the game. So yeah.
If you do it, let me know. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I would really love that. So another one from the Goldbear Werner. So hey guys, I love the DLC so far in testing. Can we get a setting to get the ambience of Rift louder? I really enjoy it. I think there is a setting to tune the general soundscape of the game, but I'm not sure if we can separate that from.
Well,
so I don't think that's possible. I'm afraid. So, yeah, but we'll look into this. We'll look into this. Another question from Goldberg Werner. What did people dislike in the feedback? So, what did people dislike?
Well,
I think one of the things most people disliked was the mass constraint that we added. I think that was the most popular one that people disliked.
But I think there wasn't much like really disliking, but people weren't clear or they didn't know exactly how to do stuff. It was a little bit unsure, not really like I hate this or I dislike this, but more like this could be better. So that's why I thought about it. There was no real the mass constraint. There was some people who said, oh no, we really dislike this, but most was very I missed the word in German too. It was constructive feedback where people wanted stuff better and not totally different.
Yes.
Exactly. So Goldberg Werner did a lot of questions. It's not really a question. It's more like another thing that wasn't clear. Obviously, he didn't know how to leave the rift. So I'm not sure. Okay, he did the rescue of a lost expedition mission.
Yeah.
Yes. So for now in the beta, there is one exit from the rift. It's the rift ripcord, which you can access from your inventory.
Yeah.
There will be other exits later on once the DLC is released. So yeah, you can look it up in the mission description once you in the Rift Research Center when you accept the mission, and it is also mentioned in the mission description on the top right.
Yeah.
Once you finished your objective, it says use whatever to leave the rift, and yes, this will help you to know how to leave the rift.
Yeah. So do we have any plans for implementing formation settings for fleets? While ships follow player ships, like wall formation, diamond formation, and such. This is actually a good question. The main issue with this has been that people build very varying sizes of ships. So this would be less painful to do with ships. So first of all, this is very painful to do. Just so you know, this is very painful to do, and especially with player-built ships that might have flaws. Because the AI has to be smart enough to handle potential flaws of player-built ships. And the other thing is that these ships might have very different sizes. So in Avorion, ships work best when they have kind of a roundish shape. So when they're not super long, and I'm not talking about they can't be like this long and this high or something, but I'm talking about ships that are like this long and maybe this this
the
wide.
old stick ships.
Classic stick ships, yeah. So yeah, our veterans will know what we're talking about here. So basically, with this kind of ship design, it's very hard to make ships fly in formation, and this is something that we've always been looking into. But it's just a very hard thing to do, and this is one of the reasons why we haven't implemented it yet. So I hope this clears some things up. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, one question from Kali Fora hopefully.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to have a button that switches the direction of gyros? Because editing them in a finished ship is damn hard to do. I think Tengu answered the question in the chat already, but you can rotate blocks that you already built with, I think, Alt and R. So you can rotate them, and that should also change the direction. It works great for the directional thrusters, and this should work too for the gyros, as far as I know. I'm not 100% sure, but that should be the solution for you. And as I said, Tengu might already have answered this.
Right.
Oh, one thing, again from der Goldbeer Werner. How about a random rift where it changed the environment randomly? Not a good idea.
We actually tried this, and and it wasn't fun at all.
The thing is, as we said before, you have to prepare for the rifts. So you are preparing for some environmental effects, like we had the Iron Storm before, where your shield gets less capacity and gets drained down. So you're focusing on the ship that doesn't have that much shield but more armor, and then it just changes to, well, something. For example, the radiation, your ship, your shield goes full again, but isn't that much, and suddenly you're affected by the radiation, for example. Or you don't know what happens with your shields, so nothing with your shields. You boost your shields, you get big shields, and then they just get reduced to like 5%, and it's useless. So it sounds funny, but it won't be for long.
Yeah. All right. Any chance? So Kane, Kane Nodi is asking if there is a possibility to enable achievements on mods in one of the coming updates. So we've been this is actually a very interesting question. We've been thinking about this a lot, and we're currently swaying more towards the we will allow achievements with mods side. So, but we haven't formed a full decision yet. So yeah. All right. So what else is there?
When the DLC is released, will it be compatible with existing save games from? I tried Heimer Another. Well, yeah. Butchered. Check mark. Butchered. I butchered. Doesn't matter. So, yeah, when the DLC is released, will it be compatible with existing save games? Of course. That's one of our main goals. Everything we do will be compatible with stuff we already have.
Yes.
So, yes, it will be compatible. For the betas, you should like save your galaxy or backup your galaxy.
Yeah.
Because it's a beta, and once the beta is closed again, you might have scripts or stuff in your inventory that isn't there anymore because the beta isn't active anymore. But everything you got in the beta should work once the DLC is released.
Yes. So this has been something that I can talk about too as a developer with a more technical view. So the beta. So basically, what we've always been trying to do is to keep backwards compatibility as much as we can. So sometimes there might be little slip-ups, but usually you can use. I think people are still using galaxies from 5 years ago. So we've been working hard on making these compatible over time, and just like Felix just said, you have to be careful when you start an old galaxy in the beta now, because it will bring your save game up to date for the beta. And then when you switch back to the older version of Avorion, when you go back to 2.0 from 2.2 or 2.1, then you might not be able to load that save game any longer, because obviously the game cannot look into the future. So that's the only restriction there is. And one more, while save games are compatible, you have to be careful when you load into them, because the new stuff will usually only be available in the non-explored sectors. So whenever you go into a sector, it will be loaded, generated, and then saved in your save game. Everything that you haven't seen yet is still open for generation and will be procedurally generated, and the new content can only be available in newly generated sectors. So when you've basically, for example, when you've explored your entire galaxy, you won't be able to enjoy the new content. You might be able to enjoy some new features, maybe some new weapon drops or something like that, but you won't be able to have Rift Research Centers spawn into the game.
Yes.
So in case you've already explored your entire galaxy, then you should you will have to
send us a screenshot.
Yeah, please do so. And if you've done this, also tell us how big your save game is. And in the end, if that happens, then you will have to start a new game. Yeah. Also, you will have to start a new game if you've got all rifts disabled. So if you've got if you're in free play, you've got the rifts disabled, you've got the barrier disabled, then you won't be able to go into rifts because there are none. Easy as that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So.
All right. I think one last. We're going to do one last question. I'd like to answer one last question, and that's: can the black hole in the center get visual distortion too, much like in the Rift space? I wish it could. It's something I always dreamed of making a graphical effect like Interstellar, for example, for the black hole. That would be amazing. However, I haven't gotten around to it, and this would cost a lot of time, and I'm afraid we don't have that kind of time. So,
sadly,
sad face. It's probably not going to happen unless I'm going to sit down on a weekend, just doing it in my free time. And right now, I don't. I kind of don't see that happening. So yeah, probably won't be coming. I'm sorry. All right.
All right.
I think we can wrap it up here now.
I think too.
So yeah, thank you very much for joining us. I hope we will see you next time here. The VOD will be available on Twitch and on YouTube again, just like it's been all the other times too. And if you really want to help us out, please go on Steam right now, wishlist the game, wishlist the DLC if you haven't, and follow us on our socials. Felix, what are our socials?
I'm getting better at it.
Yeah.
So, of course,
go list it.
Twitch, where most of you are looking. We have Twitter, Instagram.
What are we called on Twitter? What are we called on Instagram?
Okay.
Tell people.
So, let's start with Twitch.
Tell the people
Twitch is
what we're called.
On Twitch/Voxelware. Twitter is also Voxelware. Insta.
No, on Twitter it's
Avorion.
It's Avorion. Yeah.
Right. We don't have
we don't have a Twitter account for Voxelware yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
We might need one sometime, but for now it's Avorion. Yes. On Instagram it's Voxelware.
Yeah.
On Facebook it's Avorion Game, I think.
It's Avorion Game. Yeah.
Yes. On YouTube it's Voxelware again.
Yes.
Yes. On Discord it's discord.gg/Voxelware. So it's.
No, Avorion.
It's also Avorion, yeah. Yeah. Of course, because it's Avorion Discord.
It's the Avorion Discord. Yeah, we don't have an official open Voxelware Discord. We only have our own Discord that is just for internals. But
yeah. And of course, on Reddit it's r/Avorion2 there, because it's also an Avorion related channel.
But it's Avorion, not Avorion 2.
Yeah.
It's Avorion, 2.
Yeah, exactly. So
you get it. You get it. You're smart. You get it.
Yes. Please use the social media to get us feedback to the beta.
Send us
in
feedback.
General. Also,
send us all the feedbacks.
If you have some things you want us to talk about, which aren't DLC related, because once the DLC is released,
we will have time to talk about stuff
that you
that
are
is-
interested in.
yeah, that you're
Everybody
interested in.
can ask us questions there.
and we would love to answer just to I don't know to go into stuff. I'm not sure if you're if you're interested, for example, in how we work, how we're doing bug reports, for example.
Yes.
If you want to if you want us to
Everything.
react to Avorion memes, for example, I would love to react to some awesome Avorion memes.
Exactly. Just let us
Just
know what
stuff
you
like
want to know.
Yeah,
Basically.
let us know what you would like to know. Yeah.
Exactly. So, with all this said, I think let's call it a day.
Let's call it a day. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
As always.
Goodbye. And
we will see you
in 2 weeks.
in 2 weeks. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.